A masculine man understands that life is not always happy. We men are weaker than ever. And because the modern society offers us too many short-term pleasures, we think that happiness is just pursuing our desire. Unfortunately, desire is the cause of suffering. That's not what I said. That's what the Buddha said 2,500 years ago. But unfortunately, the desires we have now are short-lived and very transient. Those are just short-term pleasures, short-term cheap dopamine. And it's very unfortunate. For me, for example, I have kind of a soft food addiction that I'm dealing with. I don't let myself go too much because I know how much I could get fat and how much I could get unfit and how much it will impede my progress when I work out, when I box, when I train. But because I know that this is not happiness, filling my stomach, pursuing those short-term pleasures is not fulfilling. And someone wise once said, I don't remember his name, you cannot get enough of something that was not supposed to fulfill you from the beginning. You cannot get enough. You cannot get enough of those pleasures. Whether it's sex, whether it's scrolling, whether it's porn, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's food, Netflix, whatever the case might be for you, you cannot get enough of it. Yes, some of those pleasures are okay in moderation, but things like porn, drugs, and alcohol should not have a part in a man's life, or very, very limited part. A man understands that this is not happiness. What we think is happiness, to be hedonistic, to pursue pleasures at any cost, is a problem. It's anti-masculine. A masculine man is a leader of his life, is a leader of his domain. So he understands that pain comes along with the territory when he decides to seek out certain goals, when he decides to pursue a certain course of action, when he is on his path, when he answers the call to adventure. For those of you who have read Joseph Campbell, you have to understand, no matter what path you choose, even if that path is your passion, is what you want to pursue, is your authentic path, it does not mean that there will not be things that will be tedious, that there will not be things that will be boring. There are not things that will not hurt you. There will be some sort of struggle, but it's okay. Even though you're not looking for pain, you understand that pain comes with the territory. So you embrace it. Whereas here, when you decide to pursue happiness at all costs, you will not be able to deal with pain that comes with life. Pain comes with life. Life is suffering. Again, not me. That's the Buddha 2,500 years ago. But you have to choose your pain wisely. Even if you choose to pursue happiness, it will lead to pain inevitably. Because the more you indulge in those short-term pleasure, the counterpart is you have more pain. Because your dopamine receptors get used to that cheap dopamine and tolerate more of that same substance not even to get the same level of happiness. So the more you indulge in those short-term pleasure, the less pleasure you'll have, and that pleasure will be replaced by pain. And also the rest of the time in your life, everything will seem dull because you have overflown those dopamine receptors and you have desensitized them. So they will get weaker and fewer. Therefore, you have more cortisol in your life, which is the stress hormone. And the rest of your life, the mundane task of life, will get increasingly harder and dull. It's like you are installing a kind of grayness, a kind of darkness in your life. So you can understand that those people who have everything, indulge in pleasure so much, can so easily become depressive, in a state of apathy, and even suicidal. It's not a joke, it's real. But once you have something in life that you want to pursue, something that is more important than those short-term pleasures that your ego wants you to indulge in, you can find solace, you can find peace. And interestingly enough, The more you can be authentic with yourself, the more you can be on your authentic path and pursue the right goals for you, those you have chosen. Yes, pain will come along, but you learn to embrace them as growing pain. You learn to enjoy them. You learn to derive very real dopamine from pursuing harder things. The more you can do so, interestingly enough, as I just said, the more you can find happiness. Because it is not manufactured happiness that you have pursued in short-term pleasure. It is dopamine you have pursued for doing worthwhile things, worthwhile action, and worthwhile goals. The more you can do so, the more you can find freedom, fulfillment, and peace, and of course, a certain level of happiness. But it does not matter so much because happiness is a state of mind. Peace is more important than happiness. So pursue your authentic path. It is not easy, but in order to do so, you need to let go of those short-term pleasures to a certain extent and find out who you are. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Sebastian, your addiction recovery coach, and I'm here to help those of you who want to give up on, desexualize the mind, and other addictive compulsions I just spoke about: scrolling, drugs, alcohol, porn, so on and forth. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm sure I can help you. Links in the description box below.